Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Mariam Nabuja, the Ladies Guide, your emotional wellness guide, every Monday, giving you the 7 minutes of inspiration, 7 minutes of your time, 7 minutes to put yourself into this new, amazing week. 7 minutes is a series that will always remind you about the things you already know in life, but which you overlook, but may be affecting your welfare or your emotional self. So 7 minutes we bring you these nuggets, these pointers in life that will help you to grow on your personal development. Just to remind you that man is to sum of books you read and the people you meet, and that is what determines the value and the quality of your life you're going to live. And that's the reason why you need to improve your mindset most of the time, because that's where the value comes from. Improved mindset. Today, let's look at what we call overcoming spiritual difficulties. Overcoming spiritual influences, negative spiritual influences.
She's a lady, she's a cancer.
Previously, we talked about being dispensable. You are dispensable. And we noted that most of the time when people overstay in workplaces, in visions, in careers, in businesses, in jobs, etc., they grow complacent and they think they are irreplaceable. So they end up doing shoddy work, being unproductive, and being uninterested in what they are doing. So in our last week's inspiration, we say that always remember that the universe can easily replace you with someone even better. And every day it's training someone new to take up your position. So when you're given work and you grow complacent and then unproductive, it is very easy for you to end up losing that same position for another person. And we noted lastly that the universe harbors vacuum. Where there is space, it fills up with something. Someone along the way will come up and they will do your job even better. So then, learn to be productive, go an extra mile and do useful service and show the work, because that's what you have to offer at the present moment. And don't grow complacent and comfortable because you're talented. Someone with a better talent will come along the way. That's what we talked about last week, and if you missed, please go to the description section below and find the link to our last week's 7 minutes of inspiration. So today, we look at spiritual difficulties, negative spiritual influences, because life is spiritual. I hope all of us know that. And since you, my students, are being taught every Friday how to enjoy life, how to feel good, how to enjoy love, how to, you see, you need to understand that spiritual influences can actually damage your emotional self. So in today's 7 minutes of inspiration, I want to tackle something which is in the spiritual dimension of life. Spiritual influences and how they affect your emotional self. So most people are caught up in worries, fear, hunger, suffering, and they live lives of frustration, yes, because they don't understand how life plays. You can be good at everything you do, and please note, everybody is doing anything they can or what they can in their capacity to be better. However, negative spiritual influences can affect your growth. They can affect your productivity. They can fail. They can fail in life if you don't know how to manage your mind. Just to remind you that your mind is a garden, and what you plant in is what blossoms. When you plant negative, you get. When you plant positive, you get. So we have only two options in life, to either be positive or negative, and two things can't occupy the mind at the same time. You're either positive or negative. So when you talk about negative spiritual influences, we shall remind you that we live a life where we have stray spirits. Stray spirits are the kind of spirits which are looking for human bodies to occupy, to carry out their activities. Most of the time negative, because they are stray. They have failed in a certain dimension of their lives. So when you leave your mind unguarded, when you leave your mind open to idleness, it is very easy for stray spirits to use your mind as their playground. So when you hear a statement saying that idleness is the devil's workshop, this is what it is meaning. It's meaning, and this is what it means. That stray spirits can come and occupy your garden of the mind and then carry out their activity to make your life hard. So when you ask yourself, how do we deal with negative spiritual influences? How do we stop these negative spirits in coming into our lives to make us miserable? And the answer is stop being idle. Don't give in your life, don't give in your mind to ever have nothing going on, or not leading a busy life, not having an active activity that can lead to a better self. So people who have understood the concept of stray spirits know the only way you can deal with negative spiritual influences, the answer is get busy. Get busy. You're too busy to worry, you're too busy to fear, you're too busy to be jealousy, you're too busy to be envious, you're too busy to get hunger, you're too busy to... All those negative influences are a sign that you're not busy. So when you find someone who is very angry, who is jealous, who is in anxiety, who is worried, who is in fear, who is in regrets, ingratitude, they're not busy. So this is to remind you, busy people have a very small room for negative spiritual influences. Because when you're busy, the mind is occupied by an activity, and the room is so slim for the negative spirits to come occupy you now to do their job. So whenever you're idle, whenever the mind of your garden is having nothing, then the negative spirits, the stray spirits, come in to occupy now to do their gardening in your brain. So the answer is guard your mind. How do you guard your mind? Get busy. How do you get busy? Have activities. At least read a book, watch a movie, get to do some exercises. But make sure that the mind will never be left idle. And if you have a team you're working with, don't allow your team to ever get idle. They'll shoot you in the back. So idleness is where negative spirits thrive. So this is to remind you always, when you want to fight negative spiritual influences, if you're attacked by worry, hunger, anxiety, get busy. Then tell me how you're going to feel. Love you so much, and see you again next week in the 7 minutes of inspiration. Now that you've learned that busy is what fades the negative spiritual world, as simple as that, your life has just started. Love you so much, Dr. Maria. Bye-bye.
She is love.